Guys, I need help. I need help. I let me see how to put this. So I was planning on doing a video about Gary North today, and I still am gonna do that. But I need help here. I'm kind of racking my brain, and listen. I think I know how to read. I don't know. I joke a lot that I went to public school, so maybe I just don't know how to read. But someone sent this thing to me. This is a Southern Seminary and Boyce College Covenant and Commitment. And someone sent this to me last night, and they sent it to me. It's someone that I trust, definitely. But they sent it to me like cut off, like it was a screenshot. So only the first paragraph was there. And when I read it, I couldn't believe it. I was like, there's no way that this is what this document says. No way. And I told him, I said, like, this is so ridiculous that it has to be fake. It has to be fake. And then, so I went to sleep pondering this. This is how I go to sleep, right? I went to sleep pondering this, and hold on, let me just take a sip of this coffee. Pretty good. And then I woke up this morning, and the guy who sent it to me told me that it is real, and he has proof because it's on their website. So I followed the link, and it appears to be real. And but I must be misreading this. I have to be misreading it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the paragraph in question. And then I'm going to ask you, I need help. I mean, how else do I take this? Right? So here's what it says. This is a covenant that they expect members of the seminary and college family to sign in order to come to school this fall. Right? So if you're going to come to school this fall, there's other things you have to do, like you have to get tested or something. There's like a COVID testing protocol, whatever. And then there's this. So, which they're in their rights to do. I mean, if it's their property, they can tell you what to do to come to their property. So I'm not saying this isn't their right, but let's read it, and maybe you could help me out. Here's what it says. It says, quote, "As a member of the seminary and college family, I affirm and recognize that we are not just a school. Together, we serve the church of the Lord Jesus Christ. Together, we are called to love one another, respect one another, protect one another, and serve one another in the Spirit of Christ. We enter into this covenant together, and in the season of the coronavirus, with lives and health at risk. We affirm together that we will follow and obey all rules, policies, advisories, and practices required by government authorities, mandated by our institutional responsibility, and communicated by institutional leadership. We will serve Christ, serve one another, and serve our larger community beyond the campus by following institutional policies designed to prevent transmission of disease." Now, that doesn't sound so bad when you just kind of glance at it, but let me just read the sentence in question again, or at least the portion of the sentence that I'm interested in. To sign this statement, you'd have to agree to this. We affirm together that we will follow and obey all rules, policies, advisories, and practices required by government authorities. All rules, policies, advisories, and practices required by government authorities. Now, I'm trying to be as charitable as I can be here. And I think it's possible that the word required is going to be their kind of like key word here. Because is Fauci actually requiring that you wear a mask, or is mask wearing required, or is it suggested? But it certainly seems to me that it would be one of these advisories, right, that they're talking about, because they also mention advisories and practices. You know, Fauci was on TV the other day saying that we should wear goggles too, because, you know, there's a theory that the coronavirus can come through your eyeballs, so you got to wear goggles. Can you imagine? Like, imagine walking around with a mask and goggles. You know, I have goggles, right? I have goggles. Most people that work on their house or whatever do. So we're going to be all walking around like a bunch of like scientists, I guess. I mean, like, am I reading this wrong? Please help me out. I mean, this seems to be, there's no qualifications really here. It's just like anything they say. If you sign this, you're agreeing to abide by it. And it doesn't have to be a law. If you notice, it actually doesn't even say law. It says any rule. It says all rules, policies, advisories, and practices required by government authorities. Now, government authorities might be a place where they have some wiggle room too. Like, who really is the government authority? I mean, does Dr. Fauci count? Does Dr. Fauci count? And like when he says an advisory or a practice, like how official does it have to be? Like, it doesn't really seem to say here. It's just kind of like, well, whatever he says goes. It's like, you know, he said one time you can't shake hands anymore. He doesn't think we should shake hands. Is he a government authority, and does that count as a practice? Well, I don't know. But the point is, like, this document doesn't clear that up. It just says, it just seems to be a blanket. You know, if the government is telling you to do something to prevent the transmission of disease, well, you got to do it. You're affirming that you will do it by signing this covenant. I mean, I'm not saying that they could. I don't think this is an enforceable thing. I mean, I'm not saying like they're trying to create a law here, but like, how could anyone sign this in good conscience, given how vague it is? How like this would be if you were in business and someone tried to get you to sign a contract that was this vague, you'd be stupid to sign it, because who knows how this is going to be interpreted? Who knows? And so I'm just wondering, like, how could anybody in good conscience sign this with basically no qualification on the authority that you're giving to the government? Very little in the way of definitions, very little in the way of, like, usually in a contract, you know, things are defined, right? Like, so that way, you know, there isn't like, they try to eliminate as many gray areas as possible. At least a good contract tries to do that. I remember one time I signed an agreement with a company that had a bunch of gray areas, and I lost money because of it. I was owed a couple $1,000s, and I didn't end up pursuing it because it wasn't worth hiring a lawyer to me. But I got screwed out of money I think I was owed, but partially because the contract was written in a vague way, and I didn't read it, and I learned a lesson that day. You know what I mean? I learned a multiple $1,000 lesson. But can you help me out? Like, I'm just trying to understand this. Like, am I reading this correctly, or am I just incapable of reading properly? Like it just doesn't seem to be limited in any way. Like a government authority, advisory, policy, rule, or practice. It's just like it could be anything. Like I would at least understand. I would have done a video if it said a law or something like that, or even that would be too much. But if it said something like that, okay, fine. But this is like all encompassing, and it doesn't seem to have any qualifiers here. It's just like, what if it's designed to prevent transmission of coronavirus, then do it. And so goggles are coming. You want to go to Southern Baptist Theological Seminary, I guess you got to bring your goggles, because you're going to need them in the classroom. Am I just out of my mind here? Maybe I'm just not thinking straight. I don't know. But this is really something else. This is what I was talking about the other day when I was thinking, like, have I gone crazy, right? Like, I just, it's very hard to think of even what to say about this. It doesn't even seem to be written by, like this is the kind of contract that I would have written if I was like in high school, before I knew anything. You know what I mean? In high school, before I knew anything, this is what I would be like, oh yeah, this is a binding contract. This is very clear. You know what I mean? I can't imagine like an adult would be like, oh yeah, this makes sense. I don't know, man. I don't know. Furthermore, like this whole idea of like getting tested for coronavirus, there's a protocol for going back to school and you got to get the test or whatever. I wouldn't submit to that, but I could see why someone would. But Southern Baptist Seminary has gone pretty far here. I mean, what happens when they mandate a vaccine? I'm not saying that they're going to, but that's definitely within the realm of possibility at this point. Much crazier things have been suggested. I guess if you sign this, then you have to do that. I mean, this is a covenant. In fact, they use biblical language here to make it more official. I just can you imagine signing something so vague and agreeing to it and making it a covenant before God? Well, I don't know. In the comments below, if I'm misreading this, I'd like to know. If you want to set me straight here, because maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know. It's possible. I am willing to entertain the possibility that I have lost my mind here. That's how crazy this is. Like, this is so crazy that I'm starting to question my own sanity. I've been gaslit, guys. I've been gaslit. Anyway, I hope you find this video helpful. God bless.